All right, everyone, welcome to another episode of Gundam Explain. Today, I'll be reviewing the Robot Spirit's Sazabi. Yeah, this is Char's mobile suit in Char's Counterattack. This is the Robot Spirit's version. So yeah, I'll get into that. And before I get started, be sure to subscribe, even leave a comment. There's a giveaway going on with two items. It is possible by the time this video is out that is over, but then another one will be in place. So just check the link in the description below for the latest giveaway video. All right, and to get started, let's take a look at this. Again, this is Char's custom mobile suit from Char's Counterattack. It kind of keeps that red aesthetic. It's Neo Zeon. It has the symbol or the emblem on the shield here. All right, and I will actually have Amuro's Nu Gundam standing next to him to kind of get an idea of scale. It seems pretty accurate. But also to help with scale, here is the Robot Spirit's real type marking. There's probably more to the name, but of Char's original Zaku 2 mobile suit. And you know, as the UC timeline evolved in that era, the mobile suits were getting bigger. So this is possibly to scale. If this isn't to scale, if anyone happens to know that, let me know in the comments what the true scaling would be. You know, because this is based off the Ver anime, and really, the Sazabi here is ripped directly from the anime Char's Counterattack. You know, one thing I will say is, after being used to, you know, like the real grade Sazabi, or even in Gundam Battle Operation 2, they have the Sazabi there to use. There is sort of a modern interpretation of it without really messing with it too much that I think I tend to like more than this. I think, even though it looks good in the anime, this kind of interpretation of it is a little simple. It's fine. I don't want to complain too much about it, though, because it really is straight up from the anime. But it's not my favorite design, although I just appreciate it because it is Char's. But yeah, let's look a little more into it. Let's take a look at accessories. All right, so we have two beam sabers here. It is not only the blades themselves, but the handles, and they do come off. There's a look at that. Here is a replacement forearm armor part for the shield. The shield comes with, it's actually a ball joint. I'll remove that. It's a ball joint that actually is on two different parts here. So you can change where you want to have the shield. And this mechanism here kind of moves, as you can see there. So depending on how you want to have it sitting on him. Like with most Robot Spirits, it comes with the stand adapter. We also have the axe here without any effect parts on it. We have an axe with a single blade, kind of like a smaller version there. And then we also have the full-on, the axe with the full blade. Looks great. And then for hands, we've got the fist, trigger finger. We've got like the saber holding, as well as kind of that relaxed, semi-pointing look that could be used for multiple things. Even, you know, holding the rifle. Yeah, let's look at that rifle. It's a big guy. Almost looks like that smart gun from, or is it not the smart gun, but the main rifle from the Aliens movies. But it kind of also has that ribbed look that we see on a lot of like Zeon and Neo Zeon things. The DJ comes to mind. And an interesting note with these axes here is that you can actually take off the hilt piece, which that might make it, doesn't do it on the small one, but it also does it on this big one. I'm not sure of the purpose of that. And if we are to look at the manual, you know, there's not much to it. It's very simple. It's just showing how he can hold the gun, hold the beam sabers, operate the shield on the arm, but also the funnels. So let's take a look at that. So up here at the top, he has the two little binders, perhaps, that hold the funnels. Now, I will attempt to open this. All right, and I always have a hard time opening it, but I forget, without applying too much force, you can kind of pull on the funnels themselves to kind of get that separation. And then once you do that, you'll have to pull it off camera in order to fully open it. That way you get access to these. Yeah, it's kind of a little difficult to open, but I think that's good because I'd rather it not be all loose and the pieces falling out all the time. But then also, you can take out the funnels. You can get a good look here. There's a little plug. Now, they don't open up where we kind of see that there are the grooves. I don't know if that's even possible to see. Where, like, in the anime, it kind of opens up as it's firing. That might have been too much work for it, or, and I should have looked this up, there could be, like, an option set to buy for this that includes the open funnels and maybe some wires to hold it. And it looks like this kind of came apart. It's a little, I gotta say, this is a little finicky, but yeah, it gets on. I guess with the binders up here, taking them apart kind of loosens what they're connected to, but they snap back together tightly. And I think at the end of the day, the fact that they connect back tightly is important there. So, all right, let's look at some articulation here. We'll start with the head, if I can get a nice clear shot. All right, so taking a look at articulation, the head's on a crazy joint here, so let's get a closer look if we can. So we have the neck, right? And it kind of has, and it looks forward quite a bit, and it looks up so much that it has another little neck piece that separates. And the thing about that is that's just so noticeable. It's hard to take it seriously when I have it set up or posed a certain way. And then also when you put it back down, you have to make sure you get that neck piece in. It's a little strange, but it's not a deal breaker. We've got that. We've got the binders back here. If they're called binders, I'm just calling them that because I learned about that from the Kshatriya. These could be called something else, but they have a little bit of articulation here, as you can see, to like move them around and position them. The shoulders, pretty cool. They come out like most robot spirits to allow sword holding, dual wielding, not dual wielding, but double-handed sword poses or whatnot. And the shoulders around allow it to move up and down. But also on the shoulders here, where we've got these big old shoulders, is they have these little jet pieces also that move up and down as well. So that's just some added articulation that helps, I guess, for posing the arms up as high as you'd want to, or if you were to have the arms seated low. And I'd have to rewatch and really pay attention in the anime how often this little piece actually does come up and down, if at all. It might depend on what he's doing. A disappointing thing as we look through here is the thrusters don't have, the effect joints to plug them in. But that was kind of like that with the earlier robot spirits. All right, on this left arm here, this is where we have the shield connector piece. For the purpose of this, let me take it off. Now it's kind of hard to take off, so I had to pull it away from the camera in order to do it. But there you can see the arm without it. I guess if you wanted to do some battle damage shots, maybe that's a way to go with it. But let me put the normal one back on. All right, and here he is with the normal shield part on. Now, again, it was a little difficult to take off and put on, and I guess that's kind of good at the end of the day, so the pieces aren't loose. I'm just afraid of breaking it, but so far this thing's pretty solid in some areas. All right, so to move down from that, we get this waist. Now, one thing I got to say is swivel on the waist is always appreciated, but it is rather gappy. You can kind of almost see right through, depending on where I have this lined up. There's a lot of gappiness here, and I guess that's okay to allow this movement. It's just a little odd, and it seems to be a bit sturdy. Just it's weird how loose this is compared to other parts that you think you're going to break. Like the arms within the shoulder joints are very stiff. As we move down, we have the side skirts that have, they're on a ball joint, it looks like. We have the front skirts here. The back skirt doesn't have any movement, really. It's just sticks out there, pretty big. But we do have the these little thruster canisters here. And a thruster in here that actually moves as well. So there is, articulation where you wouldn't expect it, but it's nice to have there. As we move down to the legs, it's pretty tight, I gotta say. Pretty tight, but it seems to do it. I'm not getting any squeakiness, which usually tells me that it could be breaking, so that's a good sign. There's the swivel. Let's see. We've got knee. Yeah, knee goes back super far. I don't know how much that's actually required, because then we're seeing, like, you know, all the thrusters down there. This brings us to the feet, which, yeah, it has a lot of movement there. You can really have him kind of standing just on the toe part, or full flat-footed. Let's see. It doesn't move too much unless you actually do that, but it does have side to side, and it rotates. So, I mean, really kind of the standard articulation that you would want to get from a Robot Spirits figure, so can't complain there. Overall, I think the articulation is fine, just a little weird in areas like the neck, the waist, and just a little odd in general, but overall, good stuff. All right, here he is with one beam saber. One, because, you know what, I cannot believe this, but during filming, I broke this. Just trying to put it in the other hand with the beam in the saber. It easily snapped off. Totally my fault. That seems to be a running theme lately with these Robot Spirits. One thing I will say, though, is there doesn't seem to be any storage for the sabers, or the actual handle anyway, so I guess I could just glue the beam on, just leave it like that. I'm a little disappointed, but there's that. All right, so the that's not really the heat axe, but the beam axe blade saber thingy, there's probably a name for it, really. That one in his hands easily. It was that the actual beam saber hilt is a little boxy, and it's really tough to plug into his hands, but this blade was pretty easy to do, so no issues there. All right, and there you have it, the Robot Spirit Sazabi, or Sazabi, it's one or the other. Gotta say, not as impressed as I thought I would be. The paint apps of some of the thrusters just aren't on point. It's a little simplistic, even though it is based off the anime. And the articulation is a little varied, and the accessories are just a little odd, too. I don't like the amount of space the shield is, and it's kind of limited in where you can have it on the arm. Yeah, and then the beam sabers broke. That was my fault, but it was so simple, just trying to put it into the hand, whereas the other sabers go into the hand easily. Yeah, for the price I paid, too, I probably wouldn't have done it again. So, yeah, that's my review of this, but it goes along great with an Amuro, so can't complain there. I'll have them just set up in a pose on my shelf or whatever. So anyway, let me know what you guys think. I know someone from the Discord has this as well. Curious if their thoughts other than what we spoke on in Discord. But yeah, thanks for watching. We'll talk next time.